Hey guys, welcome back. So today I have a DIY brunch idea video for you, and I'm going to share with you some recipes, also just some things that you can do to make your brunch more grand and easy on you as well. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel before you leave. We're going to start off by prepping as much as we can the day before. This is key for any type of entertaining. I've shared with you guys my favorite entertaining tips, and I will leave it linked down below for you guys. But for this particular day, we're going to be prepping for our brunch. Little things will make your life so much easier the next day, like figuring out how you're going to set everything up. You know, you may find that the vase that you want to use the day of doesn't fit the particular flowers, and those are little things that you want to get figured out before you're actually cooking, just to make it a lot less stressful for you. I also like to do as much of the food prepping as possible the day before, so this includes washing my produce, also chopping what needs to be chopped, also making my beverage the day before. And it's actually a lot better if you make it the day before because it has a lot more flavor the day of. So today I'm going to show you guys how to make agua de melon, which is one of my favorite drinks, and it is so easy to make. All you need is lots of melons and sugar. So to make this, we're going to start off by making simple syrup, which is equal parts of water and equal parts of sugar. And I have the stove on medium-low. You don't want it to boil, you just want the sugar to melt into the water. Once the sugar has completely melted, you want to turn the stove off and set it to the side. Alright, so now to the actual juice. So we're going to need lots of melons. I like cantaloupe, but any type of melon will work for this. I will have measurements to all the recipes down below in the info box for you guys. So I just go ahead and chop my melon up and I put it in a blender, and I'm just gonna blend it until it's all diluted. You want to get the majority of the liquid of the actual fruit in your jar. Then we're going to fill up the rest of the jar with water, and we're going to start adding our simple syrup a little bit at a time. This part you definitely want to just taste as you go because a lot of melons are going to vary in sweetness. And that's it, you guys. This is so easy to make, and I like it best served over lots and lots of ice. It's so refreshing for the summertime. So now we're gonna get into the recipes of the day of the actual brunch. And the first thing I'm gonna show you guys how to make are these cheesy baked eggs. So in a large bowl, I'm gonna crack a few eggs. I'm gonna season that with salt, pepper, and then I'm gonna give it a good whisk. And then to that, I'm adding parmesan cheese, and then I start whisking it again. And now as I'm whisking it, I'm adding heavy cream to it. You could also use half and half if you don't want them to be too rich. And I just make sure to add the heavy whipping cream a little at a time as I'm whisking. And then at the very end, I add some cheddar cheese and also some green onions. I'm going to take my baking pan and make sure that it's nice and oiled so none of it sticks to it. And I'm going to line the bottom with cheddar cheese, and then I'm going to pour the rest of the egg mixture on top. I had preheated my oven to 350 degrees, and I set the timer for 25 minutes. So while that's in the oven, I can go ahead and start making the rest of the brunch. Next, we're going to make some candied sausage. You could also use hot dogs for this, or any type of spicy sausage, or just regular sausage if you want, but this is really, really easy. All you're going to do is just chop up your sausage into really tiny pieces. You want them to be as small as possible because you want them to crisp up really nicely. And then you want to make sure your pan is super hot, so I have it on medium-high. You don't need any oil because the natural oils from the food is going to come out, and it's going to help caramelize everything. So this is going to be the hardest part, is just not touching them for about 5 minutes. Just let them brown, and then you'll see once you start to flip them over, they'll be nice and brown. So once my sausage is nice and brown and crispy, I turn the heat down and I go ahead and add some maple syrup to it. And I leave that on super low heat for another 5 to 10 minutes, just until the syrup thickens and it all becomes really nice and caramelized and candied. And then I turn the stove off and just leave it there, and then I move on to my next dish. We're making French toast with cream cheese butter. So we're going to start off by making the cream cheese butter so it can have time to set. We're just doing equal parts of butter and cream cheese and then about 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar. And if you want it to be cheesier, you could add more cream cheese than butter. And if you want it to be sweeter, you could add more sugar. So once it's all nice and mixed, I put it in saran wrap and form kind of like a little ball. And I put that in the fridge and let it set. Now for the French toast, I love using vanilla ice cream for my mixture. So I'm mixing vanilla ice cream with eggs and also adding some cinnamon to it and powdered sugar. I whisk that as much as I can, and the ice cream will still be a little bit hard by this point, so I just kind of set it aside and start working on the rest of my French toast, and then I'll come back to it and the ice cream will be fully melted and I give it another good whisk. So for the bread, I like to use some sort of brioche bread. It's like the perfect bread for French toast because it gets nice and crisp on the outside, but it stays nice and moist on the inside. And then I make sure that my pan is nice and hot. I put it on medium-high heat and I add my butter to it. You'll know that your pan is hot when your butter starts to sizzle. And then we're gonna go ahead and dip our bread in our egg mixture, and then we're going to put it on our pan. And again, don't touch it for a full 4 to 5 minutes. You want to make sure it stays nice and brown on one side. Once you start to see it brown up nicely, you go ahead and turn it over to the other side. And again, leave it on for another 4 to 5 minutes. So once they're done, I like to sprinkle powdered sugar on them and then also top them with some sort of berry assortment. So now that all of our food is made, it is time to plate everything, and I'm going to show you guys some small little tips that you can do to dress up your food and make it look more elegant and festive. I look for leaves that are really full and have some interesting texture to them, like this kale right here. I'm using it to line the plate that I'm going to be putting our cut up watermelon on, but you can put any type of fruit on this. I love the contrasting colors like the green with the red. I also love using mint leaf to garnish food, so I'm adding a little bit to the French toast, and then I also added it to our melon juice. And once the eggs are done, I go ahead and top them with a little bit of extra cheddar cheese and then some fresh green onions, and this also adds a little bit of color and texture. And now for the butter that we had in the refrigerator, I go ahead and take the saran wrap off and I plate it with a cute little knife. I also went ahead and put the syrup in a really cute container and added another bowl of berries, so in case people want extra berries on their French toast, it's easily accessible. And those are my tips for your next DIY brunch. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, you'll probably like my DIY Girls Night In video. I'll leave it linked down below. I give you guys some cocktail ideas and also some recipe ideas for your next Girls Night In. And again, don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it and also subscribe to my channel. I upload every single week, and I will talk to you guys next time. Mwah. Bye.